had to take to the streets, vandalize properties, lives were wasted, and it's just, it was a coincidence. I wouldn't say it was as a result of that NAPSA was formed, but then we have that sense of mind that we really have to play our part as students. We really have to, because what was happening was not what actually, it was reflecting Gambian students, but then that was not who we are. That was not, those things were not actually who we were, because there were people that were being manipulated, used by other people to achieve their own selfish goals and desires and stuff. So we felt it was important that we stood up and represent ourselves. So it was like, the scenario was kind of like you having, let's say, a bushfire in the month of Hamadan. You wouldn't blame the grass for being dry at that point, and you wouldn't also blame the fire. I think the starter of the fire is the one you blame. So that was how NAPSA came about. It was a bit tough because we had it difficult, to establish, people to recognize and even accept us was difficult. We've been to places people booed us.
All that happened.
Yeah, it happened. It's difficult for people to admit anything new, especially if they got used to something so much, because the then student union was so much, was a household name.
Okay.
Just like we are today, it was a household name. Everywhere you go, you hear about, GAMSU, Gambia Students Union and things like that, So when we came, we never said, they should stop operating. All what we said was we wanted to represent ourselves. We don't want anybody to represent us because we felt we know our issues more than any other person. So those were the reasons why we actually, came about. And one fundamental reason also that, that makes us different from them, I think, is our sense of orientation. Because over the years we've seen, this is a decade, we are celebrating. And this decade has witnessed no form of student demonstration, no riot in any school, not to talk about regions, talk less of even national. So I think that is an achievement that NAPSA has achieved over the years, over the 10 years. And I hope these achievements, for now, what is left with NAPSA, I think just to celebrate and set our priorities right for the next decade. I think that is what we are actually doing. And we are celebrating this. We have a whole lot of activities. I'm sure Usman is going to talk about them. Yeah, I think for now.
Yeah, Usman, 10 good years.
Yeah,
you've been representing yourself for 10 good years. What are some of the achievements?
Well, since inception in 2001, like NAPSA has, witnessed unprecedented achievements, from all areas. Because there is, as Buba said, there is a mandate, and that is the level between grade 1 to grade 12. And now when you come to the areas of achievement, as we used to say, education goes with discipline. And once you have the sense of belongings, the sense of maturity, the sense of discipline in the minds of students, you have achieved a lot. And as a student body, this is also our number one priority, to make sure that students have that sense of responsibility. Let students take ownership of this country. Yeah, because the April 10th and 11th that he was saying was not something that everybody would, someone will aim,
Definitely.
Yeah, so at least as a student body, we want to eradicate all those negative things in the minds of students, saying that they are not well represented. So our achievements also, were most based on some of the things that has happened in the past with GAMSU, because one must, be able to learn from your mistakes, Yeah, these are things that we have, come up with, and we make sure that, let discipline be our number one priority, And we also, every year, we do embark on nationwide Meet the Students Talk. Yeah, when we go for this nationwide Meet the Students Talk, we talk with them, in areas ranging from discipline, teenage pregnancy, the use of drugs, These are things that cannot go with the education system. And we are all, we are the backbone of this country in years to come. So at least our background need to be very much strong.
Solid.
And since they found the stone is already there, we only need a step ahead and make the Gambia what we want it to be. And also the areas of we right now, just from the nationwide regional debate and quiz competition. nationwide regional debate quiz competition, whereby the finals will be part of the celebration on the 13th and 14th.
Of which month?
Yeah, and which
October.
October, yeah.
Okay.
We also come up with the All Girls Conference because it's also good that we put our sisters and ahead of us, simply because they have been left behind. We also felt it necessary to come up with All Girls Conference, whereby they will discuss issues that are affecting them. Yeah, you might have a parent that you cannot, discuss certain issues with them. But, when you have very responsible people who would come and talk to you, your advice you need certain issues. At least you will have that, rapport to tell them what things that are affecting you and you way forward. So I will allow my colleagues as well to come in.
Yes, Fatu, you want to say something about the development?
Yeah, I think if we just want to sit here and talk about the developments, we might even spend the whole day.
Okay.
But since we have just limited time, as Usman was just talking, we all know that even Gambia Senior Secondary School and St. Augustine, we were rivals. Yeah, Usman, you're from St. Augustine, and I am a product of Gambia Senior Secondary School. But because of the intervention of NAPSA, we make sure that these two schools become one. And, we now have that brotherly relationship. Gambia Senior Secondary School does nothing in the absence of St. Augustine's and, St. Joseph's. And this is something that we always wanted to see happening, because normally when it is time for inter-house, inter-school, you see these two schools stoning at each other. But now they have reconciled, they are one. And another problem that also happened at Bansang and Armitage, that was a very serious thing. But thank God for the intervention of NAPSA and for the help of God, that was also tackled, and those two schools reconciled, and they regret everything that happened. Those were some of the achievements. And as Usman was just saying, we just also took part in the recently concluded nationwide tour, which we all know is a constitutional requirement. The president goes nationwide to know the problems of his citizen, and NAPSA also took part in this. As students, we believe that we also need to take part in issues of nation development, and that is why our statement will tell you to serve as partners in national development. We also had series of media trainings. The last one was at media training, which was resourced by Keba Diba of GRTS.
Okay.
We all know him. He's an icon when it comes to media, and we helped some students to be trained on media, how you could be a good media practitioner, and this is something that is very, very great. And not only that, we do have radio programs every Friday at KWT Radio, where Gambian students do contribute, tell us issues affecting them, and they send their messages and all that. Recently, we co-hosted the Taiwanese Youth Ambassadors of Taiwan. It's 2 years now we've been hosting them, and yeah, it's not and NAPSA. It's really something that is interesting, because the students of Taiwan come to the Gambia to share their culture, and they also expect us Gambian students to show them our culture and tradition, and that really helped us, because NAPSA, as usual, we do come out with awards. Last year we came out with awards. This year we came out with awards in the Kung Fu, in the best learning attitude students, the best dancers. All these show that
in the world or in the Gambia.
in the Gambia.
In the Gambia.
Yes, because when they come, they also want to see what's going on, what the Gambian students are able to do. And there, NAPSA was ably representing the Gambian students, and it showed that, yeah, we are ready for what we are asking for, and it's really happening. And we also had a number of symposia where we invite people from different areas, career development. Some people, the lawyers came, the doctors came, the business personnel came. They spoke to our people, because it's time that young people, especially the students, choose their field of concentration. It's time that we decide. And these people were there. NAPSA called them. We invited so many Gambian students who benefited from it. All these things are what NAPSA is doing, and we hope to do more as we are still here.
Okay, Buba, what are some of your constraints, the obstacles?
Yeah, before the constraints,